Good evening, grave robbers, and welcome back to the television graveyard. We're your TV necromancers, Laura Prince and Noah Houlihan. It's Razzie Month.
Razzie Month.
I hate doing the intro during Razzie Month because I'm like, it's TV, but it's not.
Well, because we were in the movie Mausoleum, is what we decided.
Yeah, but like...
It's
one season, one episode. No, this is a Disney movie that's reheating the nachos of 33 other Disney movies.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome to Snow White.
Yes. That's Laura Crane. I'm TV's Noah Houlihan.
Oh yeah, with me as always is TV's Noah Houlihan set up for You Say a Line.
What if my dad is alive?
He's not.
He's not.
My first
twist.
I realized as we sat down to watch this, I don't like the first Snow White.
I haven't watched the first Snow White in 30 years. So I don't have a lot of memories about it.
There is a family story about the first Snow White in my family. One of the many re-releases. My mom, I don't think I was even born yet, but my mom took my cousins to go see Snow White. And when she bites into the poison apple, my cousins went, okay, we can go now. And my mom goes, no, the prince is going to wake her up. And my cousin, out loud for the entire movie theater to hear, goes, why?
Spoilies.
Spoilers for a nearly 100-year-old film.
So, interestingly, though, as much as...
And a fairy tale that's much older than that.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say. I haven't seen the original Disney Snow White in years. However, I did really like a version of Snow White that aired on Nickelodeon.
Okay.
It was like their fairy tale cartoon. And it left a big impression on me in that there are 7 dwarves in the original Grimm's fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
The names that are in the cartoon are the names that Disney gave them.
Yes.
In this Nickelodeon cartoon, their names were the days of the week.
Yes, because they really can't be the names Disney gave them.
Right.
I mean, I guess not for another 10, 15 years, because this is going to go public domain kind of soon.
The other things I just want to mention before we get into it is I have read the original Grimm's fairy tale, so I have some thoughts when it comes to that. And also, I remember when, I didn't understand the Disney Vault. So I often had this problem where, something would come out of the Disney Vault, and I was like, oh, this is new. So the fact that this is a 1930s cartoon was kind of lost on me for years.
Oh, that's funny.
Hold for a moment.
Okay. Closing the window.
So let's get into this. We start with the Disney title card, which I yell out, I already hate this.
Yes. I don't know if this is the first movie this appeared in front of. I think it's fairly likely it isn't. This this vanity card probably started a couple of years ago with the Disney 100.
Yeah.
So it probably... I'm going to be honest, I have not seen a recent Disney movie in some time.
No, I really haven't either.
So I kind of had this moment of righteous indignation.
Yeah, I would say the most recent Disney movie I watched was Pinocchio for the Razzies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It doesn't say Walt Disney Pictures anymore. It just says Disney. I hate it.
I hate it as well. Back in my day, it was a blue screen with a simple white castle. And we were grateful for the castle.
I mean, it's definitely evolved over time, but it's getting longer.
Yes.
I also have to note, we watched this on Disney Plus, and I get offended every time there's an ad, because I don't pay for non-Disney Plus. I don't pay for ad-free Disney Plus.
Right.
And I just, every, 30 minutes of the movie, I get mad about it.
Well, every time we had ads, it gave me an opportunity to just scream. Just let out everything that had built inside of me. If I had to hold that for a full hour and 52 minutes, it might have destroyed this home. We start with a sleepy hedgehog laying on a book.
So, the book intros are actually very emblematic of the very old Disney cartoons. Your Sleeping Beauties, your Cinderellas, your Snow Whites, up through even like Ichabod and Mr. Toad have this conceit.
Right.
A lot of the original older Disney films have the opening of a storybook.
Yes.
But this one plops a crappy-looking CGI hedgehog on top first.
Yeah.
So that you're in for slop.
Yes. And we all know that hedgehogs aren't sleepy. They gotta go fast. And they enjoy chili dogs. The opening shot of this film, that's not this book, is Snow White being born.
Yes.
This is already insane. Snow White is being born during a blizzard.
Yes.
This is where she gets the name Snow White.
Yes.
Not because she is unbelievably pale, but because she is born during a blizzard. We see her mother holding the baby in like a carriage.
Yeah, she's born in the back of a taxi, essentially.
Yes. During a blizzard, while the servants are like out in the storm panicking. And it was so weird to me that like the opening bit is like, the princess was born and everyone was glad to have a princess in the kingdom. Oh, we're gonna freaking die out here, man. Like, what a weird image.
It also, like, it sounds like... They mean she was born during a blizzard, but, like, the narration just kind of sounds like they found her in the snow. Like, oh, look!
Yeah.
Sweet!
She was born of snow.
So then we get the first song.
Yes, and I want to have a quick disclaimer before we get into this.
Yes.
We are covering a Disney film. Clips are probably not going to be abundant this time. I upload these to YouTube, and YouTube has become especially litigious when it comes to songs. So we are going to be talking about these songs a lot. You probably won't hear them in the YouTube version.
So something I'm probably going to do is I will not sing any of these songs because they're bland and unmemorable, but I will probably end up singing brief snippets of the songs who they wish they were.
Yeah.
So this first song, I have a note. Her parents sing her a song that is not as good as the opening song in Moana.
Yes.
So the song where she establishes the village in Moana, the like, you can find happiness right where you are. They sing that, but not as good.
Yeah. It is... All the songs are very similar to something. They're all sound-alikes. They're all the Jimmy Hart version.
There's also... At one point, you crack in the middle of the song and go, Are the people CGI?
So, I'm going to freak out about this at the end. So, bear with me. The opening sequence, everyone's in these, like, bright reds and yellows and blues, like these vibrant colors. But nothing looks real.
Nothing looks right.
Like, to the point where I'm like, I don't think these are real people. This kind of looks animated. It's very uncanny valley. The thing it kept making me think of is Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Okay.
Remember in the movie where they visit the town of bad animation? And they're like, oh, this is the town where everyone's like the too realistic.
Yes.
And like the eyes never look in the right place.
Yeah, because it's at like 2000, the Polar Express.
Yeah. Like, that's the vibes I got off of this. Like, I can't tell you why it's wrong right now. But I feel like in 5 years, this will age terribly.
In 5 minutes, this will age terribly. This looks bad. I think part of it is... I read something about the way films are lit now. Mm-hmm. Because so much is done in post, a lot of the lighting is very flat because they haven't decided how it's going to look yet.
Right.
And I think that there's a couple places where that becomes really particularly egregious, and I think this opening number is part of it. Mm-hmm. Then I have a note of this. 2 other notes I have here are, the costumes don't look great. I have seen better costumes at Renaissance fairs. Mm-hmm. I was reading about a movie where they were talking about the fairly conservative budget. It was clearly not this film. And they said, like, oh, wow, every dime shows up on the screen. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was, be safe, have fun, don't die.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, this movie was made for, like, $30 million. Wow, that's really reasonable. Every dollar is on screen.
Yeah.
I know this movie cost probably 10 times that to make. Some aspects of this film look cheap.
Yeah, I agree. So the main point of the song is, man, things are great with Snow White's parents being alive.
Yeah.
They rule with love and kindness and fairness.
God, the monarchy is great.
God, they're so great. Hopefully nothing happens to them. Then Snow White's mom dies for no reason.
I think you and I were joking that she died of having no lines.
Of not speaking. Because she is there while her father is like, I love you so much, rule with love, here's a locket for later, it's your MacGuffin.
Please enjoy your plot trinket.
And the mom's like, nodding, like, I agree with your father, but not speaking, and then she dies. This causes Gal Gadot to appear from nowhere. She literally, like, appears one day and can do, like, simple sleight of hand where she makes, like, flowers appear. And her father immediately falls in love with her, despite the fact that she basically has I'm evil written on her face.
Yeah, she does a few, like, little parlor trick type things. And at first they're a happy family, and that lasts for, like, 2 seconds.
Yes.
Oh, my next note is Gal Gadot looks bad in the dress they have her in.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Wonder Woman. How did you make her look kind of fat?
Yeah.
Like, she looks weirdly wide, and again, the costume choices in this film are baffling.
Yeah, it's really confusing.
So she makes up a threat, and he wanders off for whatever reason, and leaves his child daughter behind?
Yeah, because, like, he goes off to, like, war or something.
She warns him of a threat in the Southern Kingdom.
Yeah. So he has to ride off, and then it's like, we don't know what happens to him. It is then revealed that this evil queen has a mirror that has but one purpose: to answer the question, who is the fairest one of all? And then in my notes I wrote, ew, a unitasker.
Oh man, I really had put you through too much Food Network.
You really did. But like,
I'll do it again.
It is a magic mirror, but that is its only purpose. What a lame mythical device.
So, to get into Disney lore, I'm gonna spoil Wish for like the next 30 seconds.
Okay.
That if you were gonna see it, you probably already did. The villain in Wish becomes the magic mirror in Snow White.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. That's interesting.
So when you were like, it's a lame magic device, I was like, that's because it's a guy. It's just a guy. It's Chris Pine.
It's a guy that judges women. In any case, what ends up happening is Snow White becomes a servant under the Queen.
I do have a note here. There should have been 3 actresses because they have very young Snow White. And I get that, like, Snow White is supposed to be a teenager in the form we see her in for most of the film. Mm-hmm. But it really makes it look like they're happy, mom died, he remarried, and then he goes off to war in the space of about 3 weeks.
Yeah, in about 3 weeks that all goes down.
Because she, like, young Snow White does not change.
Yeah.
And I was like, she would look at, I mean, kids' age, she should look different between moms.
Yeah.
Like, most kids are gonna look different at the beginning. There's like a whole thing that parents do where they take a picture of their kid in the first day of school and the last day of school to show how much they changed. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think at least 8 months have elapsed.
So, this really is the moment where I'm like, oh, they don't know what they're doing with this movie. Snow White grows up as a servant, even though she's the princess.
Yes.
And they say something like, some peasants even just forgot that Princess Snow White existed. Which is right up there with somehow Palpatine returned. It's just like, yeah, some people just forget because time happens.
And again...
It's not been decades.
Yeah, again, like, I know in the original film, Snow White is meant to be 14. I imagine she's probably intended to be 15 to 16 years old. Mm-hmm. Minimum, maybe closer to 18. Either way... You're talking, like, 8 to 10 years. I own merchandise older than that.
Yeah.
Like, I just looked over and I'm like, I think I've had that Rocket Raccoon Bank for longer than 8 to 10 years. Yeah. I think I'd remember a whole person.
Yeah, that I had a dance sequence with 4 years ago.
That was important in my kingdom.
So... We have this sequence where she's, like, scrubbing the floors.
Yes, and the kids sing, like, a sad reprise of the first song.
Yeah.
And I want to point this out. The kids are excellent.
Yeah, the kids are good.
Like, the kids who sing this are very, very... Like, the song's not very good, but I got chills from them doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say a lot of great things about this movie, but I did want to give flowers to those children, because they were incredible. Let this movie have something.
So, this is the scene, though, that I'm like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Is a handsome man appears to steal potatoes.
Yes, as always.
This thief looks like Link if The Legend of Zelda took place in a 90s high school. He's in, like, a weird green hoodie. Then I was just like, when are we right now? And he's, like, charming. He's very Flynn Rider-y.
Oh, he is clearly intended to be Flynn Rider.
Yeah.
I also, at this time, have to point out, he looks old as hell.
Yes, he does. He looks way older than Snow White.
Because Rachel Zegler, at the time this was filmed, would have been about 22, 23.
Yes.
He is 35. He is 35. So he is considerably older. And, like, I feel like Gen Z has actors.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we didn't have to cast somebody this old.
So, Snow White scolds him for stealing. And he's like, gotta eat to live, gotta steal to eat, tell you all about it when I got the time. And she's like,
maybe no one else has even told her. I'm sure if the queen was aware of how desperate things have gotten, she would be happy to share.
She got forced to have her hair cut and has been a servant for, let's say, 4 years?
Yeah.
And never during that time was like, I think the queen might be bad. She's like, oh, I guess I'm just a servant now. What to do? Mopping the floors, used to be royalty, now my dress is dirty. 4 years?
I also have the note of, why does he look kind of like her dad?
Yes!
And part of it's that the actor, and this, like, if the actor was not playing the love interest of someone who's supposed to be, like, in her teens... I'm not saying Andrew Burnap looks like an old man. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I think he still looks younger than Ben Platt and Dear Evan Hansen. But he looks too old to be with her. She's a very petite young woman with a baby face. He looks like he should be in Riverdale.
Yeah.
Like, he looks... When you said he looks like he's playing in a 90s high school, He looks like a man who would have played a high schooler in the 90s. If
Yes.
you catch my drift.
Yeah.
In that he looks like he is in his 30s.
So, he gets caught, and Snow White goes with the whole, like, hey, let's ask for food. Queen's like, no, I'm very evil. I would like to have him burned alive, I think. First she starts with burned alive.
Yeah, I think she then goes with the dungeons.
And then goes, you know what? You're right. The punishment should fit the crime.
This thief stole from me, so I will steal from him. Remove his coat and boots and bind him to the gates to freeze.
Which is insane.
Which also, through the rest of the film, it's like early fall. Like, apples are in bloom.
Yeah.
So, like, how cold is it really? You're just bored.
It's like, I'm tired of this fence and I wish I had a windbreaker.
The queen lectures her about diamonds and roses, and I make a mistake here. And I go, okay, this is where she would have a villain song.
Yeah. But she can't sing, so there's no villain song. Don't worry, you'll never hear Gal Gadot sing. Don't worry. Don't worry.
And then they sing, like, Rachel Zegler then Snow White gives bombastic side eye and says, like, my father would show mercy.
Yes.
And the queen calls her Snow White, which I'm bewildered by, because if I'm the queen, I would kind of want people to forget about Snow White a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, in Cinderella, in the more recent remake of Cinderella, they kind of lean into her name being Ella.
Okay.
And Cinderella being a nickname. Because she's in the cinders.
That makes sense.
And I was surprised that they didn't kind of have an alternate name for her.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is a kid's movie and they're keeping it simple.
Yeah.
So we get this song.
Waiting for a Wish is the name of the song.
Waiting for a Wish. Which...
I have like 18 pages of notes about my rage. Where do you want to start?
I will give you my one note. Because Laura is more musically inclined than me. This song is all about how she kind of needs to step up and take back her kingdom. She's a princess. No one's going to do it if she doesn't. And the camera is constantly, while she's singing, pulling her away to make her smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Rather than pulling in to make her larger and bigger because she's growing up. Ridiculous choice by the director. Laura, you may now hit your several notes.
So, Waiting on a Wish is an interesting choice to make your I Want song when you are coming out 2-ish years after Encanto. Mm-hmm. Which the I Want song from Encanto is waiting on a miracle.
Yeah.
And that song does everything correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It shows, like, where she is, like, I can't move the mountains, but I would move a mountain. Like,
yeah.
I would make the flowers grow. Like, give me my chance.
Mm-hmm.
And it also has pieces of reflection from Mulan to me, of the, like, she, like, looks in the water and is like, when will my reflection show who I am inside? Nope, wait, that's the better one.
Yeah.
And that's when I finally go, who wrote the songs for this? Because it's very Moon June, unclever lyrics. The rhymes in this are all, like,
the easiest line.
8th grade level.
Yeah.
Like, these are good news, everyone. The middle school teacher says you get to write your own musical this year. It's Pasek and Paul who wrote Dear Evan Hansen.
Yep.
And they also wrote The Greatest Showman. Man, they really hit their one trick early. Rachel Zegler doesn't sound great in this. And I got so mad, we stopped it, and I showed Noah videos of her singing Rainbow High from Evita on the West End. To be like, she's excellent. why does she kind of sound not great?
Yeah.
Like, this is her, the videos of her singing Rainbow High are her singing live on stage in front of you. This they had every chance to do everything in post, and I'm gonna assume that, like the visual effects, they did too much in post.
Yeah.
And ruined it.
Yeah, there are weird moments during this song where, like, you can kind of hear it's a different take. It's weird.
You will not have any of the songs in this stuck in your head. It's not.
No.
It's not catchy. I've actually had Waiting on a Miracle stuck in my head.
Yes.
Because I talked about it so much.
When I think about that song, I get goosebumps. That's how good that song is.
Like, I'm not in a phase of my life where I listen to Disney music all the time. But when something from Encanto comes on, I'm still like, I'm gonna leave that on.
Encanto's
That's good.
So good. It's so good.
Waiting on a Miracle is a great I Want song from Mirabelle. Mm-hmm. Like, it is a fantastic I Want song.
Yeah.
And it's performed well, it is framed well, it is written well. This is none of those.
Yes. So...
I saw my next note from the next scene.
In an insane moment, she sees the thief tied to the gate. She slips over, unties him.
And guys, he could have pulled on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's tied with one length of rope, not very tightly.
He's not chained. He has some hemp rope tying him to this. He turns around, sees Snow White, and Snow White hands him half of a roll.
To be more clear, have you ever gone to Panera Bread and gotten the side baguette?
Yeah.
That's what she hands him.
Yeah.
It looks like she went to craft services, grabbed a piece of side bread, and was like, this'll do for a prop.
Yeah.
Isn't much, but...
Like, here you go. This'll do you. This'll stop you and your friend from starving. Here's half a roll. And he's like, thank you. And then runs away with no shoes. And I was like, oh, no shoes. Definitely a net loss day for the thief.
Yeah, I also have, why is there no one else in this fully functioning castle yard?
There's no people.
Because, like, when... I'm gonna compare Snow White to Game of Thrones, which is stupid, but hear me out. When you, like, see the castles in Game of Thrones, there's, like, a certain amount of hustle and bustle going on because people live there and have to do things.
Yeah.
People must work in the castle.
You'd think.
Like, to maintain things. We see later she clearly has servants. She has guards. No one's standing out there, and everybody just kind of, like, is doing what... I guess everyone's on their cigarette break?
I guess.
When Snow White frees a hostage?
They leave the guard there, and the thief there, and there are no guards.
And then the evil queen turns out to have heard the whole mediocre song.
Yes! She's like,
and she
don't like that.
And to be entirely fair, her facial expression looks an awful lot like mine did after that song. Just unamused.
So, she goes to the mirror, and I want to point out that she really hits the word magic. She's like, magic mirror on the wall.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Because of the famous Mandela effect, that it's a lot of people remember it as mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all, but it is magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all. And
yeah, it's mirror, mirror, lie to me, say the things I want to see.
What is that?
It's an M2M song from the 2000s. Mirror, mirror, lie to me, show me what I want to see.
I have no idea who M2M is.
Mirror, mirror, hanging on the wall. You don't have to tell me who's the biggest.
You're gonna get us a copyright strike.
And that's why I'm not trying to sing well. I feel like I'm doing the equivalent of when Zazu sings "I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts."
So.
And like Zazu, I am suffering greatly while I do it.
Yes, indeed. So, she asks the magic mirror on the wall who the fairest one of all is, and the mirror responds Snow White. We are kind of now implying that the word fair, in this case, doesn't just mean beautiful, but also just and like, you know, even and giving and fair.
And the magic mirror is a Stay Doomed alum.
Okay.
He is Patrick Page, who you would know as being the Green Goblin in Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Oh, okay.
Most of you would know him best as the original Hades in Hadestown.
But getting back to what I was saying, we are implying that the mirror is kind of doing a double entendre with the word fair.
Yes.
But it will never implicitly be that. Like, it almost felt like they were fishing for MatPat to do a film theory. They'd be like, oh, fair has two meanings and stuff like that. They never explicitly say that that is what the mirror means, but it's being hinted at, but not committed to. So, the queen can't have this, so she hires a huntsman to take Snow White to an apple orchard, cut her heart out, and put it into this heart-shaped box.
Well, they had to have the heart-shaped box, Noah. What were they going to sell popcorn out of?
That is a fantastic point.
Like, they now kind of need to put something in that they can sell popcorn and or drinks out of.
A big-ass apple.
That was the juice sipper.
Okay. So they go to the woods, or they go to this apple orchard, and it is Snow White and this huntsman. And they do some of the things that I remember from the cartoon. Mm-hmm. Like the part where the shadows are on the rock. And the huntsman really wants to kill Snow White. Because if he does it, like, his family will be taken care of or whatever.
He'll get whatever he wants. Like, if he kills her, the evil queen has said, like, you will receive anything you want. So he's like a made man if he kills this girl.
But Snow White's so cool. It's like, hey, you want one of these delicious apples? You can have one. And he's like, oh, I can't kill her. I need to point out, the apple orchard is supposed to be a very beautiful place. We are supposed to be seeing the beauty of nature in this endless apple orchard. But what we are actually seeing is a green room that boiled millions of gallons of water and destroyed nature to create this. I was like, God, why does everything have to be CGI? Why can't we just go to an apple orchard?
Yeah, I actually have a note that says it's a muddy looking CGI. Like,
you know who knows apple orchards? Evan Hansen.
I would love to pretend this is the last time we're going to reference Dear Evan Hansen. My friends, it's really not. And you might be thinking, oh, I know where she's going. You're right and wrong.
And you're wrong. There's so much.
Because there's a lot.
So, because...
Oh, I saw the note of, she offers him an apple. He's got arms. Like, they're in this thing.
Yeah, just grab one.
He can just have one.
He is like, run away and don't come back. Do it, leave now before I change my mind.
Run away, Simba.
Yes.
Run away and never return.
If you come back, we'll kill ya. Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa. She walks 3 steps out of this apple orchard and is in the Evil Dead.
Yes.
Like, the trees just start trying to grab her. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Why did you put the apple orchard next to the scary trees?
And then at one point, the lighting goes red and she gets attacked by bats. And I just look at you and I was like, oh my god, she's in the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Siri, play Master of Puppets. She also gets, like, plunged into water for no reason.
Yeah, she like ends up in The Little Mermaid for a moment. She gets like, she starts just drowning. I was like, where are we?
They couldn't find another way for her to reheat that movie's nachos. Oh, man.
She then like tumbles down a hill and it looked like, the joke I made is, we started in Evil Dead, we then go through Little Mermaid, she then falls at the bottom of a cave, and it looks like the jaguar from the Jungle Book is about to jump out. But no, it turns out it's just Bambi. It's, this deer starts like walking over to Snow White, and I swear to you, listener, she reaches in her pocket and pulls out the other half of the roll she didn't give the thief.
Yep.
I was like, you had the rest of the whole roll on you? Unbelievable.
So, she's also, like, soaked, and the only... two things bother me. One, her costume is bad.
Yeah, she's in, like, the Snow White costume doesn't make sense in reality. And seeing it on an actual human is confusing.
That's not it. It's that the costume looks bad. The costume doesn't look well designed for her. It doesn't look well designed in general. Because I have done the very simple act of searching Snow White cosplay. I'm going to show you the literal first thing that comes up. It is a young lady posing in the woods, and it is 100 times better than what they put in that $300.
Yeah, they want, like, the big stupid shoulder thing needs to be, like, calmed down in reality.
And, like, you could have bought from someone on the internet a perfect version of her dress for under $1,000. Like, it cuts in a weird place. It cuts her off in a weird place. And during this sequence, she's also soaked. And what is jarring to me is it's the first time anything has had any realistic texture.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, like, everything about it bothers me in this moment, because she's, like, her hair is wet, her dress is wet, but everything else around her still has that fakeness to it.
Mm-hmm. The large collection of fake animals lead Snow White in a B&E.
Also, it's full daylight again.
It's full daylight again. She was in the Upside Down and she got out.
Yeah.
They break into a cottage. She, like, stumbles around. She ends up in the bedroom. She's like, God, I'm so tired. And she just collapses on a bed that says Sneezy, which is, like, the bed I would avoid if I had 7 choices. The one that said Sneezy, probably not my favorite. But who is Sneezy? Oh, it's time to meet 7 dwarves that don't deserve to be in the title of this film. Hi-ho. Hi-ho.
What in the CGI blue hell is this?
I need to freak out about the dwarves, but I'm not going to do it now.
Okay.
I'm going to just do it a little bit now. Because we see the dwarves as they sing hi-ho, it's off to work we go.
They ride what can only be described as the Disney mine train coaster.
Yes. In clear, synergy. And they're in a diamond mine. Mining diamonds. Sleepy almost dies immediately.
Yeah, he almost falls into a chasm and
is dashed upon these rocks.
It's not a Disney remake if someone's body isn't dashed upon these rocks.
Yeah. It's very important that after this episode, you go back and listen to the Pinocchio episode and the Dear Evan Hansen episode. So we get the hi-ho sequence.
And the dwarves have diamond powers.
It turns out they have mystical diamond powers that, like, light up this mine so that they can better mine diamonds. And it
never comes up again, don't worry.
Oh, I'm going to freak out about it later.
Okay.
But right now, the main thing I want to talk about is there's all this, like, slapstick where, like, a person turns and, like, gets clocked with a pickaxe and, like, they fall on, like, a treadmill or a conveyor belt and stuff like that. It's so weird to me that I feel that none of it is funny to me. And I think it's because it's so uncanny valley.
Yeah.
That it's not registering to me. Like, it's not like I'm watching Fail Army and watching a person actually slip and fall. Because that will make me giggle. But it's also not like I'm watching a cartoon where, like, an anvil falls on someone and it's so ridiculously not realistic that I laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. My brain doesn't know what to make of this. So I'm just like, okay. I'm just so not connected to anything that I can't have a reaction. I also want to point out, it's a weird choice to me to have 7 CGI dwarves, which you could make look like anything, and you decide to give them such huge noses when the urban legend is they're named after the stages of doing cocaine.
What?
Have you never heard this urban legend? There's an old urban legend that the 7 dwarves are named after doing cocaine. You start out angry you're not doing it, and then you start out bashful about doing it, then you're sneezy, then you're happy, then you're dopey, then you're angry, then you're sleepy, and then you need a doctor. This was an old urban legend. It's been, like, debunked by Snopes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw it on Snopes.
But, like, the fact that that legend exists, weird choice giving them huge noses, in my opinion.
All right.
Who knew that we had so much to say about Snow White? Did you have anything else about the diamond sequence before they head home?
No, I just have different iterations of what is happening.
Okay.
Why do they have diamond powers?
They go home. They find that someone is sleeping in their bed. They don't know what it is. It could be a monster, it could be a creature.
You get upset that she slept with her shoes on.
She sleeps with her shoes on, which is weird. But when she gets up, they all panic and run away and leave Dopey behind to die. Turns out, this is actually a plot point, because they all hate Dopey.
Yeah.
Which, like, is weird, because, like, in the early 90s, Dopey had a moment where Dopey merch was, like, really popular and everybody loved Dopey.
Dopey and Grumpy.
Yeah.
Both of them, like, only them, but they both had a lot of merch.
Yeah, they had a surprising amount of merch.
I think every dad had, like, a lot of Grumpy merch.
Yeah. So, they realize it's a woman, and they do make a few comments like, hey, a woman. There's not a lot, but it's enough.
It's a lady.
Ew, it's a lady. So, where are we? I'm sorry, I gotta look. Oh, this is me trying not to freak out about the dwarves again. But they have this moment where they all introduce themselves to Snow White, and Snow White memorizes their names very quickly.
Immediately, and, like, backwards.
And the dwarves are like, wow, you learned our names. And she goes,
My mother always taught me that it was important to learn a name.
your mom didn't say shit. Your mom died before she got a word out. Don't lie to me. I've been here this whole time.
Grumpy also goes, like, you're in trouble with the law.
Yeah, she didn't get her arrested.
And she's like, and I was like, you are, though. You're literally a fugitive.
You did it, yeah.
Like, but you are, Blanche. She introduces herself, and Doc realizes she's the princess. Now, we're gonna play a fun game. Who do you think is the voice of Doc?
I don't know who the voice of Doc is.
So, you watched Ted Lasso with me.
Yes.
Remember the kindly team manager, Leslie?
Yeah?
Leslie Higgins?
It's Higgins?
Yeah.
Of the Diamond Dogs?
Of the Diamond Dogs. He plays both the motion capture and the voice of Doc.
Interesting.
Other dwarf of note for now is Happy is played by George Salazar, who sings the only song either of us like in Be More Chill. He is Michael from Be More Chill.
In the bathroom.
Yes.
Yes. So, after they learn the names...
We'll get to Dopey later. Dopey will be relevant later.
Yeah, that'll come up later. We have this moment where the queen asks the mirror again, hey, who's the fairest one of all? And the mirror's like, hey, Snow White's still alive. Bleh. She opens the box and finds an apple in it, which I was like, my dude, how long do you think that plan was going to work? Like, I'll just put an apple in this box, and no one will know.
So, traditionally, he has used the heart of an animal.
That's what I thought.
Generally a deer. But modern-day Disney is just too squeamish to do that.
Just put a heart of a deer in there.
And I think it's also very different when you can kind of film around it and say it in an animated movie. Everything else is shown in such detail that, like, you kind of can't not show it.
I thought it was silly.
And then we get it.
And then, unbelievable to me, Gal Gadot starts talking, or starts singing.
And let me tell you, gang, poor unfortunate souls and Mother Knows Best will sleep soundly tonight. They are unthreatened by this song.
Yes, it's very similar to Mother Knows Best.
No, it wants to be Mother Knows Best. It's the Temu Mother Knows Best.
I'm going to make this reference for me. I don't know if anyone listening to this will know this, but one of my absolute favorite episodes of home movies is when he directs Goodbye Greasy, which is both Grease and Bye Bye Birdie in the same play. And he casts Melissa as the lead, knowing she can't sing. So she's like, just sing talk, you know? So she just kind of talks along with the beat, you know? She can't really sing, but she says words to the music. That is what Gal Gadot is doing. It is insulting to call it singing. I'm so upset I can't put clips in.
It's also, like, I think it's called All Is Fair. And I was going like, da da da, and then I stop us again and I go, is it Bally High? Did they interpolate Bally High from South Pacific? And then I was, like, playing with it. I was going like, da da da, and then Noah just hears me go, da da da. And he's like, no.
It kind of sounded like The Last Midnight to me.
It's the last midnight. Ooh. All is fair. Yeah, it's the same intervals.
Yeah.
So, like, this song is beg, borrowing, stealing from better things in abundance.
Yeah. And
it, like, at one point, her handmaidens come out to sing backup, and their outfits are so boring. And I understand that, like, it sort of makes sense because she wouldn't want anyone to outshine her. Mm-hmm. But it's still a movie. And I'd like them to be visually interesting as the person watching the movie. Yeah.
She comes out and she sings, and then she sings to, like, her guards.
Yeah.
Her, like, secret police that she's going to send out to kill
Snow White.
And, like, it ends on, like, a big, like, pose beat. And I was like, did they all just stand there for a second? And like, all right, good song. Let's go kill a princess.
I mean, that's musicals.
I know, but like, there's just maybe just a few frames too long of them holding it, where I was just like, that was weird.
I feel like they hold the pose after the music stops a little bit.
I feel like you could do a lot with a transition there. Like, rather than it just being hold, cut back to Snow White, if it, like, swirled or something.
I think also if the musical number had been better, like if the song had been better, if the performance had been better, if they had done more with the backup, like, I felt like the handmaidens were a really wasted opportunity. Like, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Go, like, in the be prepared direction, or Friends on the Other Side.
I feel like this also didn't bother to explain the music. Like, Entangled. The music is all diegetic, except for when it becomes so powerful in At Last I Seen the Light, where they explode in song. But, like, I Have a Dream, they actually sing that song, like, in reality.
When Will My Life Begin theoretically could be her singing.
Yeah, her mother sings Mother Knows Best to Rapunzel. Like, that's her way of, like, controlling her. In this, the fact that you have this moment where the Queen sings this big song, it ends, and then we hard cut to something else, is just poorly directed. Where, like, if this is just an emotional outburst that's being expressed to the audience through song, if you then did a swirling transition, it's like, okay, and now we're back in reality. It's so confusing. Because we're going to have another, like, we're going to have a duet soon that doesn't make sense, but this movie's bad. And I'm trying to make it work.
And, like, I love a villain song. I love a villain song. Like, Friends from the Other Side is fantastic. Mother Knows Best is fantastic. They've clearly learned something because they've cast Kathryn Hahn as Mother Gothel in the live-action Tangled that doesn't need to happen. This is just... oof. So then, we're gonna go back to the dwarves now.
Yes. They bully Dopey some. Dopey doesn't talk because he's afraid to.
Yeah.
So...
because he's been bullied by the other dwarf so bad?
Yeah, they named him Dopey. Snow White teaches him how to whistle. And then the dwarves are like, oh my god, Dopey can whistle. Oh, I want to learn how to whistle. And this leads to Whistle While You Work. And they clean the cabin while whistling while they work.
Yeah. This number feels like they knew they had to include it.
Kind of. It's weird because it feels out of place because none of the music that they've added to this matches
anything like it.
Like, you know, Hi-Ho and Whistle While You Work are 1930s songs. They didn't try to make the rest of the music fit that thematically. And they didn't, like, update the songs. So it just feels weird. And this whole sequence is, again, a girl in a big green room.
Yes.
So she's singing Whistle While You Work while they animate in some dwarves that, like...
I don't know if they were motion capturing with her or anything.
Mm.
It seems difficult that they would have been, since they are average height actors.
Right. But they're cleaning and they're doing stuff. And there's, like, all these dance sequences. At no point is she interacting with the dwarves directly. Like, they never hand each other stuff and, like, do things or really, like, dance together.
We do not get the iconic Dopey on one of the other one's shoulders dancing with her shot.
Yeah, we do not get that shot.
That's, like, the iconic shot.
Yes. And the big note I have here is, at no point does any of the dwarves bump the lamp. If you're unfamiliar with that term, bump the lamp comes from Roger Rabbit. There is a moment in Roger Rabbit where Roger enters, and when he does, he bumps a lamp.
Yes.
Causing it to spin around the room, which means the animators and the directors now have to work together because the lighting in the room is now in motion, which is very difficult to do. But in doing that, it's now believable that there's an animated character in this physical world.
Yeah.
They're cleaning. They barely do anything to affect the animated world they're in. Like, there's a moment where they try to make music by having them scrape their feet across the floor. Mm-hmm. It's like, shh, 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 whistle while you work, shh, shh. You could do a trail of suds. You could do like a line of clean floor amongst the dust behind them. They do none of that. This movie is such just plain by the book, do nothing interesting bullshit. This isn't the part I have scheduled to freak out about the dwarves, just so you know.
I do have something you said in caps lock as my next note.
Okay.
Do something with the camera! Pause. Not that!
Okay, so because I'm screaming because nothing interesting is happening. I'm like, do something interesting with the camera. And as I scream that, it cuts to a shot from inside the sink where Sleepy falls asleep into it and like starts to die again. And it's just like, no, like show us the world. Show us the world that Snow White is in and how they interact with one another. But the movie refuses to do that. After all of this, like she got hit with a car, she suddenly goes, hey, what if my dad's alive? I was like, it's been a day. I've never had this thought before.
I also have a note, and this is another note about the directing. There are things that Rachel Zegler does as Snow White that feel really modern and Gen Z and feel out of place.
Yeah.
Just like expressions she does, and I would say that's something that should have been pulled in by a director.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they probably were reactions that felt very natural to her.
Mm-hmm.
They probably should have been just pulled in a little bit. But she feels very modern.
Yeah.
There's also a whole part where, like, Doc just talks about capitalism and liminal spaces for no reason.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand why that happened.
And then, she decides she has to go, like, go look for her father at the Southern Kingdoms. She's going to pursue these bandits that apparently still serve her father.
Yes.
That the guy she freed is part of. And she's going to go look for them and have them help her look for her father, because she doesn't want to endanger the dwarves any more than she has, now that she's cleaned their house and thanked them for their hospitality.
Yes.
Which kind of makes more plot sense than her just kind of like squatting there indefinitely, like she does in the original.
So then, she runs into the thief. The thief's name is Timothy, I think? Jonathan. She's just a generic name. This part of the film is in a real forest.
Yes.
Like, literally one of the first things that happens is she walks and kind of runs into a bush so that the bush moves.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, suddenly we're in a real forest. And then...
And the lighting is still kind of bad.
Yeah, it's
still like a weird flat lighting.
Me and Laura spent a lot of time being like, is this still a green screen? And like, they're physically touching stuff now. And like, I was like, no, I think this is a real setting. More people will show up and like be on the ridge behind them. I was like, no, that's a real thing. I think this movie is so poorly directed that they didn't know how to make the backdrop be in focus with the actors. So the actors are clearly in focus and everything behind them's a little fuzzy, which kind of is creating this false, like, feeling that it's not real. Even though it is real. It's just like, it's kind of just like you spend all day with the VR headset on, and now you've taken it off and now you're just a little bit confused. So, that's very confusing. And then, this is where I have scheduled in freaking out. The rest of the bandits show up. And one of them...
You skipped something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, alright, good. Because I have to go on a rant, so, like...
No, me first.
Go
me
ahead,
first.
Ladies first.
We then get the worst song in the Disney canon.
I'm sorry I skipped the song.
This is the worst song. This feels, and I mean this in the most derogatory way, like a middle school play song.
Yeah.
Like, this song sounds like I did children's theater for a portion of my life. Surprise! This sounds like the songs that were written for children's theater. The song is Princess Problems, where he kind of says, like, you know, oh, all of your point of view, you don't have real world problems, you have princess problems. She was a servant when you met her. Like, she's been cleaning castle floors. She's not starving. She's living probably with somewhat more privilege than a lot of people in the kingdom.
Yeah.
But you could really hardly call her being, like, a super privileged princess, in that she's been an indentured servant.
Yeah.
For probably 7-8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And the song is just bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's staged badly. I can't say much about the performance, because, like, I don't know if anybody could have made this song good.
Yeah. Like, it very much felt like we can't have them immediately be friends. So this is where they have an argument. And then they got halfway through filming it and went, this is supposed to be a musical, right? Aw, damn it. Okay, let's do it again. Can you sing it, kind of? And, like, this whole, like, oh, you're a princess. I have to deal with stuff. Oh, you're having problems?
Seems to me you got some princess problems.
Well, excuse me, princess.
It's just, it's such a bad song. You wrote a bad song, Petey.
It's so bad. And it's just them being like, here's some plot that's important. Like, we don't get along yet, even though we're going to later.
And this has been done recently in Disney so much better. With Tiana and Naveen, with Rapunzel and Flynn.
Yes.
This has been done over and over better.
Yes.
And the leads don't have a lot of chemistry.
No.
No one in this movie has any chemistry with anyone.
No.
And it's probably very difficult to get that chemistry in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just... This song is so juvenile. This is a song I would fully expect to see in, like, Snow White Jr. in, like, a 7th grade play.
Yeah.
With two awkward 11-year-olds who don't want to hold hands.
You stand facing him, he's going to stand here facing you, and, like, make gestures towards another.
Yeah.
It's bad. Time for me to lose my mind.
Up in here. Up in here.
So, the rest of the bandits show up. So, he's the leader of this band of people, and one of the people in the group is a person with dwarfism. So, to now have an actual person, when we were looking at 7 CGI people before, it makes no sense in my brain. And I just couldn't figure out why they would do this. I have a theory. And you know I'm not the research guy.
Right.
But this makes a lot of sense in my head. I remember when this movie got announced, they were like, yeah, they're remaking Snow White, and it's just Snow White, it's not the 7 Dwarfs. And there was, like, all these complaints of, like, oh, yeah, we can't have, the 7 Dwarves now, oh, it's going to be woke, oh, that stuff. However, if you think about the structure of this movie, a Disney movie, is usually about 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. This is 152. We spend about 20 minutes with the 7 Dwarves doing hi-ho and whistle while you work. They will, for the most part, be completely inconsequential to the rest of this film. There is exactly one moment where they play a part in this film. Beyond what we've seen. almost feels like this wasn't going to be part of the movie. The way it is framed, it makes so much more sense if she falls through the scary trees and immediately meets up with this dude.
Yeah.
It, like, this whole, like, a day being spent in the cabin doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you could have this one bandit being like, okay, this is a reference to the Seven Dwarfs, but we're not doing that. There's also this now gaping plot hole where Snow White wants to save her people because the queen took all the riches that the kingdom has and kept it for herself. So now there's no money in the kingdom. That is next door to a giant diamond mine. And the dwarves are constantly saying, like, oh, it's time to go to work. Hi ho, hi ho. What is your job? Where are the diamonds going? You have a giant diamond mine that will have no effect on this plot at any point, other than Sleepy almost died there once. I kind of believe that was added later due to people being like, what do you mean there's no Seven Dwarfs?
I remember there was some confusion because I think a picture of the bandits leaked, and people did not take it well. And I think they had to say, like, no, these are different characters. The production of this movie was a mess.
Yeah.
So there's these set photos that leaked. I'm just pulling this up right now. Yes, so a picture leaked. I'm just showing you a Reddit picture. And as you can see, these are the bandits.
Yes.
But there are 7 of them and Jonathan. Mm-hmm. So it was rumored that these were the Seven Dwarfs.
This is who was replacing the Seven Dwarfs.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest. Based on what I'm seeing, I kind of think that was the original plan.
And
that feels correct to me.
And it was a... we're going to now talk about this. There was a lot of controversy with this casting. Peter Dinklage had gone on the Mark Maron podcast and made remarks about, the casting of Rachel Zegler being progressive, but also kind of feeling like the depiction of the Seven Dwarfs would be regressive.
Yes.
Literally no offense to anything. They're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing?
Unfortunately, what Disney took from that was, don't hire real actors. And I want to say, what Peter Dinklage said got very misconstrued over time. Peter Dinklage was trying to approach it as, I would like there to be more roles that are just, I'm a regular guy.
Yeah.
And I just happen to have dwarfism. And it was taken as, this is below actors.
Right.
And there was some backlash from both Dylan Postal, who made his living in the WWE.
Yes.
With the ring name Hornswoggle.
WWE was my dream job since I was 4 years old. Since I was 4 years old, all I wanted to be was a WWE superstar. And in any other circumstance, it wouldn't have been able to be done by me. I'm not 6 foot, I'm not 250 pounds, but they were looking for a person like me, a little person, to fill this role. They hired me, and I got to live my dream for 10 years. Now, there's dwarf actors out there that their dream is to star in a film, especially a Disney film, because as we know, Disney doesn't do remakes or any of their movies at a small scale. They were going to blow this movie up, obviously. And these are 7 roles that are few and far between for dwarves anyways, that were made for us. And that's what's ridiculous to me about the whole situation is it's not being progressive. You're hurting the community.
And Jason Acuna from the Jackass family.
Yes.
Both of them were like, I would have played one.
Yeah.
I would have played one. because what ended up happening was Disney did not want to hire actors with dwarfism, and then went this CGI approach, and then cast, Higgins from Ted Lasso.
Right.
But it's very hard. I do feel bad because I feel like Peter Dinklage got a lot of backlash for costing people in his community jobs, and that wasn't really what he wanted.
Right.
And back when they made Snow White and the Huntsman and Wonka, these conversations have happened again. Because when they made Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in 2005, Deep Roy played all of the Oompa Loompas. And it was one person with a job.
Yes.
But he got the job.
He at least got the job. And
Warwick Davis had come out when they cast regular height people in Snow White and the Huntsman.
Right.
So it's kind of rough on that one.
Yeah. I just think there's enough circumstantial evidence in this to be like, I think there was an original version where the whole Seven Dwarfs did not appear. Because they create more problems than they fix.
That sort of is supported by there happening to be 7 bandits.
Yeah. And I really don't get any of their names. So I'm trying to think of, like, was any of them, like, kind of bashful?
I mean, the movie was delayed for an entire year after these... It was partially blamed on the strikes. Because the 1-2 punch of the writer strike and the actor strike. But they're clearly in 2 different films.
Yes.
And they very seldom interact much with each other as parties. And one is given more to do.
Yeah. So
at the end of the princess song...
Yeah, good.
Jonathan leads Snow White essentially into a trap.
Yes. The Queen's guards are there. Jonathan notices it at the last moment that a crossbow is pointed directly at Snow White, and then instead of pushing her out of the way...
You have skipped much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He leads her into a trap with the bandits. He leads her to the rest of the bandits.
Oh, okay, I thought we had covered that, I'm sorry.
No, and so then they kind of, like, have their little, like, tete-a-tete, and then the guards show up.
Yes.
But we do have to establish the bandits. And so the bandits have a plan, and they're like, run, Snow White, we'll hold back the guards. And Jonathan says, like, I'm going to tell them everything I know. And so she runs away, but doesn't go very far. She's like, I can't leave them. I was like, they're going to die.
Yeah.
To protect you.
Yeah, you should
a girl
leave.
They just met. Run. But then she has, like, a little Batman gambit where she goes, I'm up here. And then a bunch of birds wear similarly colored clothing to her. And then flying dress.
Yes. It should be noted that Snow White has magical animal friends.
To be entirely fair, she always does.
She always does, but I don't think I've said that into the microphone yet. Once they think they get away, it turns out that there is one left that is about to shoot Snow White with a crossbow. Jonathan sees it, and to protect her, tries to block the arrow with his heart.
Yeah.
He turns his chest towards it instead of his back, and doesn't push Snow White at all. Like, doesn't try to take her down or anything like that. He just goes full, like, put my heart in the way. And it just misses his heart. So now that Jonathan is injured, we end up back at the dwarves' cabin.
Yes.
Because Doc is a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Doc saves Jonathan, thus fulfilling the one thing that they do that is helpful in this movie. The one thing that would be kind of hard to explain away in the plot without them.
I don't know what Doc does, but he's walking it off fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's miracle maxed back to life.
I have had stitches for like a minor laceration that took me longer to walk off.
I mean...
Like, I got... Very recently, I had 3 stitches. And, like, if I moved my leg wrong, it would suck.
Yeah.
And he's just walking off, fully being impaled by an arrow.
Yeah. Doc doesn't even know what he did. He mugs the camera at one point and goes, I thought he was dead. I think he does such a good job, there's not even a hole in his costume.
No, I did notice the hole in his the hole and the stain are still there.
They're still there? Okay.
In that scene.
Okay. Interesting.
When he comes out of the cabin, they're still there. Mm-hmm. Are they still there for the rest of the movie? That's a different question. But they are there when he walks out of the cabin with Doc.
Okay.
Because I did look for it then.
So, it's time for At Last We've Seen the Light.
I'm, like, deeply offended by this.
They rip off this At Last We've Seen the Light song so much, like... They replace the lanterns with fireflies.
But there's also lanterns.
But then there's also lanterns. And they're just kind of...
There's a little moment at the beginning where Snow White is talking to one of the bandits about the bandit and the one female bandit.
Yes.
And I don't know their names. And he's like, we're just friends. But what about you and Jonathan? She goes, I think Jonathan only cares for himself. He just took an arrow for you.
Yeah, in the heart.
Like...
He died.
He just made give the old college try to die for you.
This... They literally do the whole sequence with At Last I Saw the Light where...
It really is.
They are both singing, like, in their own heads until their love is too much and then they both break out singing. And they do this thing where, like, they're staring at one another, and for a moment, everyone else disappears. Which is supposed to be like, oh, all I really see is this other person. I take it as, man, dwarves are expensive to animate.
Yeah.
Let's just take them out of this scene for a little bit. And just have empty chairs.
The song goes exactly the same way of, like, her verse, his verse, their verse. And then being like, oh, well, maybe it's the same beats. It's like them realizing it suddenly. But the difference is, in Tangled, we've had a bunch of little beats that have kind of already started to lead you down that trail.
Yes.
Like when she saves him in the cave, when they sit by the fire and he tells her his backstory. We've been building chemistry. So when we get to I See the Light... It is incredibly believable that these two people, who spent the last 2 days in a bunch of terrible situations together, have caught feelings. These two, you're just like, alright. Plus, Jonathan, he really is, you order Flynn Rider online and Jonathan shows up.
Yeah.
Like, and this is where I notice the camera work. It's just constant straight-on shots of them.
Yes. With digitally added lens flare. Oh, come on, J.J. Abrams. Okay. On top of that, the lyrics are terrible. The lyrics are stuff like, if I were to ever fall, wake me with a kiss. Wink, wink, we read the script.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
The song ends, and then the bandits and the dwarves are like, that was very pretty. You guys are very cute together. And then they hear the bandits, or they hear the guards coming. And they're like, oh, we have to hide. Let's get out of here. Who do we fight for? And all the bandits yell at the same time, in the name of the king. And I go, shush, the guards. Remember? It was a second ago.
And we never mentioned this beforehand, but now we have to because now it's a plot point. Snow White's necklace. Her plot trinket. We did mention her plot trinket. We did. She gives him her plot trinket as, like, insurance that he'll come back.
Yes, because they're going to go look for the king.
Yeah, so she gives him her tiara so that, oh, wait, sorry, that's Tangled.
Yes, yeah, you got that confused.
This whole sequence is just...
It's just Tangled.
It's just Tangled with the names crossed off. Like, here, yeah, copy my homework, but make it different enough.
Yeah. I changed Rapunzel's name to Snow White.
And then we got the one real laugh in this whole movie for me. Is one of the bandits has an armful of food and goes, "Thank you for having us," and runs
away.
And, like, it's so real compared to everything else in this movie. Like, it's, like, a very authentic awkwardness of, like, a bandit stealing a bunch of food. Like, "Thank you for having us."
Yeah.
And
That was funny.
It genuinely did get me to laugh. So, props to that one line. I bet it was an ad-lib. Like,
100%.
I bet it was the actor, like, thought it'd be funny. And he's right.
Yeah, good on him. They immediately get kidnapped. They immediately get captured. And the thief is then brought upon in front of the queen wearing Snow White's necklace. And is like, so you do know where Snow White is. To the dungeon with you. I am going to kill Snow White.
Yeah.
She hatches up a plan, which she tells us in song. Gal Gadot has 2 songs in this movie.
This one's kind of a reprise of the first one.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I'm going to make myself ugly, which it's always been a weird choice.
It's interesting. The transformation's actually pretty creepy, and I was like, this will scar kids for life. She does not look that bad.
No.
Post-transfer. Like, she's still pretty visibly Gal Gadot.
She's Gal Gadot. And she opens up a big book about, like, the poison apple curse, sleeping death.
Yeah.
Can only be cured with true love's kiss. And I'm like, this seems overly complicated. You could just stab her with a stick. Like, that's a great way to kill somebody.
Noah's in the camp that thought Voldemort should have just thrown Harry out a window when he was an infant.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, she sings this song. She gets real ugly. She gets the apple. And knocks on the door of the cabin. I don't know how she got there either. And is trying to, like, con Snow White into eating the apple.
Oh my god, this scene.
Now,
Snow White opens the door immediately. There's a pretty sizable window in the door.
Yeah, that she could have looked through. First and foremost, I believe in the original cartoon, there's kind of this element that Snow White is so innocent that she is naive.
Yes.
So when this woman shows up and is like, "Oh dear, I'm here to give you an apple," she's like, "I don't know anything about stranger danger. Thank you." That's not who this Snow White is. The Snow White has, like, done a lot of stuff and shown, like, integrity and, like, quick-wittedness. She fooled the Queen's guards with dress puppetry. She's not naive. So for her to be like, "Oh, this old woman wants to give me an apple." Cool. And she just bites the apple.
The old woman kind of gives a lot of, like, "I knew your father, and I remember he was kind to me," and also then says, "I have a message from Jonathan. He said you would know what this means," and gives her necklace back.
Yeah.
So, like, she does have a little bit more to earn Snow White's trust.
I agree with that. What I'm more saying is the morality of the original cartoon is Snow White is so trusting and innocent that she eats this apple.
Yeah.
It is weird for this person that she's never seen before to show up and be like, "I have Jonathan's necklace. I knew your father. Eat an apple." Like, that third part's weird. That's a weird thing to come up. Like, for a stranger to come up to me and try to get me to eat an apple. I mean, you know my phobia is apples, but still, it's a weird thing.
I didn't mention it, but there's a point where I have a note that says, "This is a horror movie to know."
It is. She bites the apple. She falls ill. And,
But instead of immediately passing out like every other iteration, she takes long enough to succumb for the queen to explain that no, Snow White's father's not alive. She killed him.
Yes.
Now she won, and she just gloats until Snow White succumbs to the apple.
She monologues.
So Snow White then, knows who did it and why immediately.
Yes.
I wanted to point that out because I think that's different. We don't get the beautiful... We then immediately cut to, the dwarves finding her. And
yes.
Instead of building the beautiful, display case that they have her in the movie, they lay her out on a sun-dappled rock.
Yes.
In what I can only assume is advanced marketing for hoppers.
Yeah, probably.
Lizard. Grumpy, despite being CGI, tries so hard to cry. So much effort.
Yeah.
You know how when you went to high school there was that one actor who tried to cry real hard? That's what I get.
Squeeze out the tear. Just real quick, since you brought up the display case and stuff, do you know what happens to Snow White in the original Grimm's fairy tale?
I might be mixing it up with Sleeping Beauty.
So,
because, in Sleeping Beauty, she gets pregnant.
That's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to make sure
Yeah. In Snow White, when she bites the apple, it gets lodged into her throat. And then they put her in this, glass case. And then Prince Charming finds the dead body. This is their first meeting. And is this woman is beautiful. She's 12. This woman is beautiful. I just want her around. So he makes his servants carry around this corpse because she's so beautiful.
Oh no.
And then he's talking to her and the corpse falls over or something, and he is so insulted that this corpse would dare fall like that he backhands her. And the apple flies out of her mouth and she comes back to life.
Oh my god.
So Disney added the kiss.
Yeah, you know what? Good change. Good change.
Is it?
Disney
loves a good unconscious kiss.
I feel like it's better than
backhanding a corpse.
Neither is good.
Yeah, neither is good. Neither's good.
Both are bad? Both bad.
Neither's bad. Neither's bad. Yeah, but never mind. I tried to El Dorado too close to the sun.
I had it under control. When I said both are bad. Both.
Yes. So...
This one's going really off the rails.
Yeah, it really has. Jonathan breaks out of the dungeon because he believes...
Well, he breaks out with the aid of the huntsman.
He does, but the huntsman spends a lot of time being it's useless. You can't break it. But he never gives up. And then it starts to give, and he's oh, maybe it's not. And then they work together and get out.
You gotta figure the huntsman's been there by himself for quite some time.
Right.
And by quite some time, I mean probably 3 days. So he's probably going through the stages of grief. And then someone else comes in and they can make leeway together.
Yeah, it's
teamwork.
It still bothers me that the way they get out of the dungeon is to try hard enough. They then steal a key from a skeleton that you point out.
Yeah, yes. So there is a shot of a skeleton reaching for water.
Yes.
And this shot is from the animated film.
Yes.
And I pointed it out because I was oh, this is directly from the animated film. Because in the animated film, the popular opinion is that is intended to be Snow White's father. So the point, they would have known this, and by including that piece in, they are clearly leaning into Snow White's father, who was a kind and loving ruler, died reaching for water in the dungeon.
Cool. For kids.
For kids! And then the birds lead Jonathan through the forest.
Yeah.
Because her bird friends were yo,
you need to see Snow White. He runs through the forest, sees Snow White, runs up and kisses her. There's no oh no, my love. Snow White, what has happened to you? It's just, like...
She does not address the dwarves to be
does
like,
not address anybody.
Gang?
It's just like, hey, there she is. I'm a kisser. Like, there's no build. There's no magic to the kiss. It's just like,
meh.
And then she's like, oh, hey, I'm awake now. We must get revenge for my father.
Yeah, she's like, she wakes up and she's like, we gotta go fight someone.
Yeah, she doesn't even like, snooze. Like,
she...
Like 3 more minutes.
She, like, nightmare starts awake.
Yeah.
Like, when you said Miracle Max, she, like Wesley does.
Yes.
I note somewhere here, her necklace is back on her and tucked down her dress when she's passed out in the rock.
Weird.
Which means someone put her necklace back on her and someone took the locket and shoved it down the front of her dress.
I assume the queen, because she's the one who had it.
I mean,
the queen does leave the apple next to her, so maybe she's just like, I don't like carrying things. Well, so I'm just dropping.
She'd handed Snow White the necklace before she gave Snow. So
she does.
Snow White has the necklace on her. That's not the weird part. Like, if Snow White had her hand outstretched with the necklace in it, not weird. Someone put it on her, and more than put it on her, stuffed it down the front of her blouse.
That's weird.
My next note is Chewbacca was dead longer than this.
Yes.
And then she decides it's time to take back her destiny. Oh, they have a real kiss, and a single snowflake falls.
Yeah. I honestly believed Elsa was going to show up. So we haven't ripped off Frozen enough.
Yeah, we actually did kind of leave Frozen be for a lot of this.
And this is where Dopey talks, right? Dopey suddenly is just like...
Yep.
We're not afraid. Dopey. Oh, not anymore.
We have to do this. It's for the king. I sound like Josh Gad. I'm not Josh Gad, but I sound like him.
No, instead he's Evan Hansen. Not that one. He's Andrew Barth Feldman, who was one of the Dear Evan Hansen actors. He also wrote the beautiful song Thank You Muppet Vision 3D, so he gets a pass for like an awful lot from me.
He gets a pass for being Dopey.
My note here is we don't spend enough time with the dwarves for this to have a lot of impact.
Exactly.
Like, oh, he talks. Cool. Him not talking wasn't enough of a plot point.
Yes.
So...
Like, we needed a moment where he was desperately trying to warn someone of something, but couldn't because he didn't speak.
Right.
Or something like that.
Or where he's trying to tell Snow White, like, don't go, we love you, or something. And so then she starts to sing a reprise of her big I Want song in a big red cloak, because we hadn't ripped off Red Riding Hood. There's one.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have was color banned from the kingdom?
So, yeah, this is a big thing that I want to talk about here.
I want to set you up for it.
When Snow White returns, everybody's kind of has more drab colors.
Yeah.
Because it was very colorful and vibrant when the king was in charge. Now that the queen's in charge, and we're not in a time of prosperity, all the clothes have become, a more dull shade. However, at the time, one of the most expensive colors would have been indigo, because indigo is a very difficult color to make. And that's what everybody's wearing. And I was like, oh, that's actually a sign of wealth there, Disney. Whoops!
It reminded me of Robin Hood, that we watched for Razzies a few years ago.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
It was like similar poor design.
So the plan that they have, that they rock up...
I do have a note here. What do the townspeople think happens?
Is Snow White shows up and's like, hey, it's me, Snow White. We're rebelling right now. And everyone's like, oh, okay. And they all join. Meanwhile, the dwarves and the bandits enter through the same tunnel that Jonathan escaped from the dungeon. But we see like the shadows of the dwarves, but they will do nothing.
Yeah.
We're now going to have this epic face-off between the Queen and Snow White, and they're just going to have a debate basically.
Yeah, and then the queen creates a dagger out of diamond that just looks like it was meant to be sold at the Disney store and made out of acrylic.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, oh, you really want to threaten me? And I was like, oh, now we're doing the stabbing plan. It's about time we did the stabbing plan. And she's like, here, Snow White, if you want to be in charge, stab me. It's like, no, that's the opposite of the stabbing plan. And Snow White is too good to just stab the queen.
Who she just found out killed her dad.
Yeah, she's like, sorry, no, I'm not doing that. Gives the dagger back. And the queen's like, okay. Let's kill Snow White. I think they say some horrible thing. Like, she hands the dagger to somebody. It's like, you stab her. Back to the stabbing plan.
She hands the dagger to a guard and says, kill her. Let the people watch her die.
Yes.
Snow White's lipstick changes constantly in this scene. From like a red to a bright pink. And I find it so distracting through this whole scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of continuity issues. And this person goes to stab Snow White and she's like, Marcus. Paul, whatever. Paul, you used to be a farmer. And then you got made into to being a guard. Your food was so good. And then she points to someone else and does the same thing. Where she's like, I know you. You weren't a guard. You had a trade.
Yeah,
we were a community. This kingdom was great. Because her mother taught her how important it is to know a name.
Yeah.
And in that moment, in knowing their names, they realize that what they're doing is wrong.
Yes.
And if that was such an important plot point, her mother probably should have actually said it.
Yeah, instead of us hearing that her mother had said it.
She's in the movie!
You good?
No. So...
What's great is she says, like, do you remember? And she calls out these two, and then the two who are holding her arms, she is like, you, and finally Paul goes, I remember. Matthew says, I remember. The two guards holding her say, I do, as do I. And then the captain of the guard that she didn't address goes, I remember. And I wanted her to be like, oh, good, because I forgot you.
I didn't remember your name. It's like, thank you guys so much for remembering me, the princess from 4 years ago.
Right.
When you leave high school, you don't remember your high school friends when you're in college. So
then the queen grabs the dagger.
Yes.
And she goes to stab Snow White. And the crossbow guy...
The stabbing plan.
The crossbow guy... Oh, excuse me. One of the bandits is really good with a crossbow, mentions it twice, and it, quote, quote, pays off here.
Yes.
Again, less sad... So Entangled. When all of the criminals from the I've Got a Dream sequence help them storm the castle in a scene that looks an awful lot like this, all of their individual little talents pay off in cute ways.
Mm-hmm.
This wants to be that and isn't.
I also got news for you. When the evil queen that has destroyed your kingdom is out in the open, and you, the master of crossbows, shoot her in the hand, you freaking missed. Her head was right there.
You should have gone for the head.
Kill Thanos.
So I'm just thinking about how Rachel Zegler was in the Hunger Games prequel, and how what you just said is a key part of one of the Hunger Games. Games, it's a key part of Mockingjay, is Katniss shooting someone from a high vantage point.
I still haven't seen that one.
And shooting perhaps not where intended.
Gotcha.
Which I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to ruin a
don't ruin
10-year-old
Mockingjay.
book for you.
I'll get around to it. This causes the queen to run up to her mirror and be like, hey, am I the fairest one of all? And the mirror's like, no. Snow White's like right there.
The mirror's like, you're pretty, but like, she's a good person.
So this drives her into a frenzy. So Snow White, who is in the room with her, watches as the queen kills the mirror instead of killing Snow White. For some reason, this freezes time, and the shards of glass are like suspended in air like it's Quantum Break, and she kind of like turns to like, I don't know, a scab?
She like, if you saw the last Harry Potter movie, she like turns into flakes like Voldemort does.
Yeah. And then she gets sucked into the mirror like she's Zod and ends up in the Phantom Zone.
Is that where she ends up?
Or the Piss Dimension.
I wanted you...
I thought Phantom Zone was a better joke, but Piss Dimension has kind of become our brand.
Great. My note here. We used to throw Disney villains off cliffs.
Yeah.
Guess I'm just old-fashioned that way. The mirror reforms, leaving only Snow White. What I'd like to think happens is that Snow White just stabbed her in there, and then went, I don't know what happened.
I swear, the mirror got all mad, and she ended up in a Piss Dimension.
And now sunlight streams through the castle, because this is a movie that really leans into magical weather, despite not having a storm or an Elsa.
Yeah.
Of like, if you can't figure out what the mood's supposed to be, don't worry. The weather will tell you what you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And then the huntsman bows to her, Jonathan, the guards, the dwarves. And then we go to everyone having a town festival in white. And they're all dancing. And here's 2 movies it's ripping off. The town festival looks a lot like, again, I'm realizing how much of this movie is ripping off Tangled. And they're going to remake Tangled.
Yep.
They just did.
They just did it.
And everyone being in white... I showed this to you because I was so angry when it happened. The end of the live-action Beauty and the Beast from about 10 years ago ends with all of the women in white dresses and Belle in her wedding dress. So I was like, everyone being in all-white costumes is also how a different one of these movies ends.
Yeah. They also went out of their way to explain to you that that doesn't make sense as an ending. Because when the king was in charge, everything was colorful.
Yeah.
When the evil queen was in charge, everything was drab and saturated. Now that Snow White's in charge, I understand her name is Snow White, everything is just white, which is still not colorful. It is, in fact, the absence of color.
I guess they want to differentiate her reign from her father's visually.
Why? Should be a return to the good times.
Yeah, I mean, if they're coming back to where the good things grow, I could see it being maybe a slightly different bright color palette. Maybe instead of like the reds, yellows, and blues, going into more like greens and purples, and kind of differentiating it that way.
Maybe. Dumb.
They stomp clap like it's 2012.
Yes.
Then the book closes and the crappy CGI hedgehog goes back to his nap.
Yeah, he gets to go back to bed. The dwarves were there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and also it was Dopey reading the book the whole time.
Yeah.
Surprise. This is garbage. This is bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of issues with the production. I don't want to really get into a lot of them, because a lot of them are...
We covered a lot of them, too.
Well, and a lot of them were, like, based on the reception of the film and, like, the political issues of the main actors being on opposite sides of the war in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really want to, like, speculate whether that... I don't have evidence of either group meaningfully boycotting.
Right.
I think the main issue was that this film was insanely expensive to produce and looked bad from the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watched the trailer with you before another movie we watched, and we went, this looks bad.
I really felt like this was Disney seeing how much they can get away with most of the movie not being real. Like, even the poster was just Snow White in a completely fake background. And, like, if you're going to do a live action version of the film, it should be live action. This is more CGI than I want to say The Little Mermaid was.
Probably.
This is an insane film that I just don't understand. The fact that we spend so much time when we're in the dwarves' cabin with a completely CGI set to then suddenly be in a real forest is very jarring. And I don't know if maybe that was Disney trying to make us be like, ooh, it looked better when they were with the dwarves, and make us as consumers be like, I don't like reality sets. I'd like it to all be CGI. Maybe. I mean, I've caught Disney many times putting propaganda in their film.
Yeah, I'm showing you a still from Cinderella from 2015, about 10 years before this. They are filming outdoors.
Yes, and that looks great.
It's still sending that beautiful sun-dappled moment, but everything looks beautiful and idyllic, but it also is real.
Yeah. But, like, I've seen propaganda popping up in Disney. Like...
You don't say.
I watched the latest Black Panther recently for the first time, and what is her name? Shuri? Shuri. There's a moment where Shuri's mom is scolding her for using AI. And Shuri is like, AI is a tool that I control. And this is meant to be like, look at the older parent being out of touch, but the cool character you like knows that AI is cool. And it had very little to do with anything else happening in the plot. And I was like, you're just putting this in here to make us like AI. And I don't. And I won't. So it very much felt like this movie was being like, you like it when it's CGI. You don't like the real stuff. You don't want to see real sets. You want us to just put actors in big green rooms, and then we'll figure it out afterwards. But we don't, because it's bad. So that being said, I think it's obviously a stay doomed for both of us, right?
Yes. I think we are opposite on War of the Worlds versus this. War of the Worlds, I was absolutely miserable during. There was one point where I was concerned our neighbors were going to call the police because I was laughing so hard at this movie.
We laughed a lot at this one.
To me, this is like a -7, -8 on the Room scale. This is so bad I had fun.
I would put it more at a -5. I definitely think this is a great movie to get together and make fun of. Especially with your theater friends. That being said, when it comes to Razzie Awards, I don't think this wins Worst Picture.
I don't think this wins Worst Picture.
I think that still goes to War of the Worlds. I think Gal Gadot picks up an award.
Yeah, I think Gal Gadot could be a very strong contender for supporting actress.
I also think it's very possible that this wins Worst Direction.
The direction is bad.
And like, in a very rare thing, I would say War of the Worlds should win Worst Picture, but this should win Worst Sequel, Prequel, Remake, or Ripoff. Because War of the Worlds is...
Gal Gadot is not even nominated.
Really?
No.
Oh, I know.
I voted to nominate her.
I nominated her. But Gal Gadot's terrible in this film. I would say that War of the Worlds doesn't resemble War of the Worlds.
That's an in-name only.
Yeah, but Snow White is a travesty if you like Snow White in any way.
They are the two films tied for the most nominations.
Yeah, I think it's between the two of those. Razzies are not this weekend, but next.
The Razzies are going to be... No, they're coming up. They are March 14th.
March 14th. So this will end Razzie Month for us.
Yes.
Unless another movie wins, and then we'll watch that one.
Yes.
So there is still a chance that Electric State or Wake Up, Shut Up,
Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Or Star Trek.
Wake Me Up Before You Go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to do it for us here in Stay Doomed Studios. I know there's a few pilots that were suggested in the chat. We might do a pilot, but our next big one we have decided
is I have suffered much. I have demanded a little treat.
It's time for a little treat.
We are going to cover in celebration of the closure of Rock and Roller Coaster and in anticipation of it being rebranded, we will be doing the Electric Mayhem.
Yes, long overdue.
Please, I need some Muppets, please.
The Electric Mayhem.
I need this to live.
Also, we've had some new people popping up in the Discord. Hello to, I believe, Jade, who has popped up in our Discord. If you'd like to talk to us in our Discord about Razzie movies, TV shows. We also talk about like gaming and technology and things like that. Join the Discord. The links are down below. And if you don't want to do that, where else can people find us?
You can email us at the Stay Doomed Show, or you can find us on Blue Sky at Stay Doomed.
And if you want to talk to me about how you like real sets, I'm at TV's Noah on Instagram.
If you would like to pick out what songs, the added songs in this rip off with me, I'm at Laura Crane on Blue Sky. Until next time, stay doomed.